welcome to this week's video. I'm going to talk about something that kind of relates to what we talked about last week. So if you haven't watched the video from last week, I mentioned that I wish I had known to stick with one subject as I was painting until I really figured it out before I moved on to the next subject. I've got my tea here, so I'm going to be drinking it while I'm chatting with you. But today we're going to talk about, or I'm going to talk about, how I use that familiar, the subject that I'm most comfortable with, and how hopefully it will help you to use your comfort zone also to grow a little bit. So most of the time, okay, florals are my thing. And that's what I'm most comfortable with. That's what I can just get some paper. I can sketch florals with charcoal. I can paint it with paint, and I feel comfortable doing that. But when it comes to things like structures, some kinds of landscapes, some kinds of compositions, songbirds, animals, different things like that, those are not all within my comfort zone. So I do enjoy painting those things, but sometimes they can really be a challenge, and sometimes I don't like to paint those things, and it's a lot of the time based on my feelings. So I actually had somebody to email me about this, about the video from last week. So I thought it would be good to just kind of give everyone a little bit of an idea of how I kind of compartmentalize all of these different things, and I use what I'm best at to get me started. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So even though florals are like my comfort zone, and I use them in a little bit of a different way than I used to, it has kind of become my go-to when I want to paint something just for fun, or I'm feeling a little bit, I don't feel very creative today, or I don't really want to paint, but I know that I need to for whatever reason that may be. Being a teaching artist, and I have to paint in order to keep my business going, and sometimes I don't really feel like painting. So if I paint flowers, that usually gets me going. It is like the thing that I know I have the confidence to paint, and I know that I'm going to enjoy it. So I usually warm up with flowers. I usually get back into my studio if I've been out for a while with flowers. That's my go-to subject. But sometimes I want to try something a little bit different. And even though it is very, very tempting for me to only paint flowers, I know that I need to get out of my comfort zone sometimes. So putting the flowers aside, or maybe adding them to some of the things that I paint, when I'm ready and I'm in the mood for it, and I'm feeling a little bit curious or feeling like I need a challenge, then I will go into some of these other subjects. So sometimes that may be painting a bird, or painting swans or animals of some sort, because I would think to myself, that's the next level. So like flowers are really easy for me, and then the next thing would probably, well, honestly, it would probably be like a landscape that doesn't have a lot of details, but then animals, then structures like barns, houses, things like that. So if I'm feeling really like I want a challenge, then I'm going to try to paint something like this that I've been working on, this giant, I don't even know what you call this, cottage with a pond with swans, with floral trees, with a clothesline, with a little path, with all the things. And I'm not happy with this yet. I've sat with it, I've looked at it, I've painted on it, I've changed it, I've asked for people's opinions about it, and I'm still not happy with it. So it may just be completely painted over. I don't know. But I just thought it would be helpful for you to know that I'm not always 100% comfortable and confident with every single subject, even now. But I use the subject that I am really comfortable with to get me going, to help me keep going. And I don't always know how things are going to turn out. For example, this giant cottage with the swans and the trees and all that. I don't know what's going to happen. And that's part of the fun of it and part of the challenge of it. But if you get to a point where you feel frustrated, or maybe you're stuck, or you're intimidated to try something new, then my advice is always to begin with something that you know. Begin with something that you're confident painting. And for me, that's always flowers. And also, the email that I mentioned that someone sent me, it was a little bit of a question like, do I have to stick with that one thing? If I master flowers, for example, do I have to just paint flowers forever? Is that going to be my style? Is that going to be my thing? And there are lots of opinions about this, of course. And for me, I don't want to just paint one thing. I want to give myself, space and freedom to try other things. I don't want to box myself in too much. Even though it's very tempting, it would be a lot of fun to just paint flowers and nothing else. But I think I would get bored. So it's okay for you to be known for one thing, but you dabble in other things too. And I would even say that that's good, because it's going to help you when you paint other subjects. It's going to help you with the subjects that you're already really good at. So I don't think that finding your style is necessarily tied to just one subject. And I don't think that you should stop trying to grow and learn new things and explore and allow yourself to make mistakes, to mess up, to paint over. Just put another layer of paint on. Or if you have to do like me and paint something, work on it for a while, put it away, put it over in your kitchen and look at it for a few days, or whatever it may be that you need to do to give yourself a challenge, because it's going to be more fun when you do that. It's going to be a little frustrating. I will admit that. And I have been frustrated with this big painting that I've been working on, but I have grown. I've learned some things, and the more that I look at it, the more ideas I have. And who knows? You may see me next week with a completely new painting. It may just be a giant floral. I may paint over the whole thing, or I may get to a point where I've tweaked it, I've changed some things, and I like it. So if you're confident with florals like me, and you want to try some new subjects, maybe I do have some tutorials over on my website for things like birds or buildings. When I say buildings, I mean like a church or a cottage, things like that. Some portraits if you're brave, and I'll link those below. Also, if you would like to really push a little further, my painterly course would be a great option for you. And it's designed to help you loosen up and really trust your instincts and help you with fear and finding your voice and your way of painting. And I'll link that below also. But I have all of those options for you over on my website, and I would love to paint with you if you're ready to try some new things. So I hope this was helpful. Remember that you don't have to stick with one subject forever, and you can use that one subject to help you to warm up, get ready for a challenge, whether that's a small challenge or a big one. And I think that we all probably have something that we're better at than others as far as subjects go. So let me know in the comments down below, what subject are you most confident painting? And I'll see you back next week. Bye.